is Yejin, and my presentation title is Unveiling Evolution's Imperfections, Why Perfect Species Doesn't Exist. Homo sapiens and many other species have been evolving for millions of years. Throughout this long period, why haven't we evolved into species that can adapt to any environment, perhaps with superhuman abilities like Superman or Spider-Man? Could it be possible in the millions of years to come? I personally do not think so. This is the paragraph I chose in the 6월 모의고사. And I found a paragraph in Campbell Biology book about this. To summarize, the term survival of the fittest or natural selection are misleading if taken to mean direct competitive contests among individuals. Actually, reproductive success is generally more subtle and depends on many things other than battle and competition. Many examples illustrate how, in a given environment, certain traits can lead to greater relative fitness, the contribution an individual makes to the gene pool of the next generation relative to the contribution of other individuals. I agree that perfect species cannot be made by evolution, since many scientific examples and hypotheses support this. The first one is limited genetic variation. Natural selection can only work with the genetic variation that is available within a population. If a particular beneficial trait or characteristic does not exist as a genetic variant, it cannot be selected and developed in future generations. Second is constraints of ancestral history. Organisms carry a history of evolutionary adaptations, including traits that may have been advantageous in the past but are no longer beneficial in the current environment. For example, it'll make most sense for the nerve of a giraffe that goes from the voice box to the brain to take the most direct route, a length of around 10 centimeters. But because the giraffe's body plan was established in an ancestor that had no neck, the nerve goes all the way down to the neck, around the heart and back again, a distance of 4 meters. Third is non-adaptive traits and genetic drift. Not all features of an organism are the result of adaptation to the environment. Some traits may have originated from neutral or even detrimental gene variants that happen to be linked to beneficial traits. These non-adaptive or detrimental traits can persist and spread within a population due to their association with useful genetic variations. Fourth is chance and imperfections. Evolution is a gradual and cumulative process that relies on random genetic mutations and natural selection. Some traits may arise due to chance rather than direct adaptation to the environment. Imperfections such as flightless birds with wings or blind snakes with eyes persist because they may not significantly impact an organism's survival and reproduction, or they may be associated with other beneficial traits. In conclusion, the limitations of genetic variation, historical constraints, non-adaptive traits, genetic drift, and chance occurrences prevent evolution from creating perfect species. To conclude, Darwin's theory of natural selection, a cornerstone of evolutionary biology, has shaped our understanding of the process driving species adaptation and diversity. However, over time, misinterpretations have arisen, particularly in the context of social evolution. The core principle of natural selection lies in the adaptation of species to their environment rather than the mere survival of the strongest. This process is inherently neutral and occurs through the accumulation of small, incremental changes over time. To make it short, evolution has no intent or direction. Thank you for listening.